on, everybody? I hope and pray that you all are doing phenomenally well. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm excited. This is like my first YouTube live training. So I'm really hoping and gonna enjoy the feedback that y'all give me on this. If this is something that you want me to continue or that you really get value out of it, leave in the comments and let me know because I don't mind doing these, once a week or so if it adds value to you or bring value to you. So, how's everybody doing? Put in the comments below and give me a fire emoji. Let me know that you're with me for sure. But I'm excited today because we're going to be talking about the power of partnership. You know, when I got started in real estate investing, I quickly learned that real estate is a relationship based business. Okay. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. I want you to, I got a woo dog in the chat. There we go. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. Okay. And so I really want you to know that too many people get started in real estate and they try to do this whole lone wolf, take on the world by yourself kind of thing. And that's just not it. Okay. You need to build very strategic relationships, very strategic partnerships. Okay. And I'm going to try to dump a lot on y'all, but not too much to where it overwhelms you. And I want to share kind of some real world experience that I have doing joint ventures. Okay. So leave in the comments below about how many deals have y'all done? Are you just now getting started? You're brand new. I kind of want to see where we are. Are we doing fix and flips? Are we doing wholesales? Are we buying rentals? Um, it will kind of help me gauge and to know how far down this rabbit hole I want to go. Okay. Can y'all hear me okay? You with me? I love it. So let's see here. Let's talk about the power of partnerships. All right. I just put my first offer in on a flip. I absolutely love it. Let's go. So, first off, let's start by talking about what is a joint venture. When it comes to real estate investing, you are going to hear the term JV quite often. Okay. And so what a joint venture is, it's basically a business agreement where two or more parties uh, pool their tools and their resources together for maintaining their specific business. Okay. And while maintaining their specific business structure. All right. So I'm seeing a lot of fix and flippers. I love it. Some burrs, nice. Buy and holds, okay. Common in real estate investing is leveraging their skills, their capital, and their network. All right. So, why you want to focus on doing joint ventures? There's a saying, and I don't know who said it or who came up with it, but it basically says if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. Okay. What joint ventures allows you to do, it allows you to scale what you're doing in a very rapid way. All right. And so this is why I love doing joint ventures. Okay. Joint ventures give you access to more deals and more opportunities. You share the risk and investment. You're leveraging each other's skills, strategies, capital, experience, and networks. All right. You're also able to scale faster. So let's talk about kind of some scenarios here. Let's see if I want to go down that rabbit hole just yet. Okay. Let's talk about, say, for example, we have several people who are saying that they're doing fix and flips. All right. So if you're somebody that says, you know what, I want to get into fix and flips. And there's so many different rabbit holes we can do. Let's say, for example, you are having issues finding deals, true deals that are 70% deals. So, you know what I would do? Or one thing that I would do? I would go to those local wholesalers who are actually direct to the seller and have a conversation with them and say, hey, what's going on? I see that you're wholesaling these properties. Are you direct to seller? Well, I'm an active fix and flipper. I think there may be a way for us to both win in this scenario. If we, or if you get these properties under contract and then you pass that baton over to me, now I can fix and flip it, we can sell it, and we can split the profit. So not only am I not overpaying for a property, but now I'm also creating more income for that wholesaler that would just get an assignment fee, right? This is exactly what I do on my flip projects. So when I get a property that's under contract, that's an incredible flip, and I'm like, oh, I need to just pass this on to my partner. So this way they can flip it, they can manage it. It doesn't take me away from the main thing that I'm doing, right? That's one example of how you can leverage somebody or partner to do fix and flips. Another thing is, how are you funding these deals? Are you using your own money? Are you using private money lending or hard money lending, right? Well, you can actually now go to a private money lender and say, hey, this is the property that I have. I'm not able to pay the points and interest, but instead of you being my debt partner, would you be open to becoming my equity partner? Do y'all know the difference between that? Are you with me? So a debt partner is somebody that you owe. So now you owe this debt to them, okay? And then versus somebody that's an equity partner is like somebody that you're going to split the profits with. So if you're on this training or you're thinking to yourself, I really want to get started in fix and flips. I've been watching all the house flipping shows, okay? Chip and Joanne, all the shows, right? You're fired up, you're ready to get going, you're ready to rock and roll. So now this gives you the ability to say, hey, though I'm fired up, I may not have the money to get started. Let me find somebody that I can bring in that can fund these projects. Are y'all with me on how you can start to get creative? Give me some feedback, and I'm even open to answering questions. So that's one way. Another example, what somebody said, yes, equity makes it easier. Absolutely. I'd much rather, because that's a good point. Having an equity partner does make it easier, because when you go and you get a private money lender typically wants you to put points and interest down. Okay, so when you go to close on that property, you're going to have to put your points down that's going to be due at closing. So that could be several $1,000s. They're also going to want you to make monthly interest payments to them typically. Okay, that could be, just depending on the loan. If it's a $200,000 house and you're doing 10% interest, or a $200,000 loan, excuse me. So now you're having to pay $2,000 a month, right? Well, you may be limited on the amount of projects you can do if you have to pay $2,000 on each property in interest payments. Are y'all with me? So now we can go and have equity partners to where it cuts all of that stuff out, right? And now you're just getting the deals and passing them along and splitting the profits, or however you want to do it, right? So there's so many ways. I want to encourage y'all to think widely outside of the box when it comes to partnerships and creating these amazing opportunities. And you have to think too, not only does this create a win-win for you, it also creates a win-win for the other person involved. Okay. So let's say, for example, they haven't been able to find deals, right? Or put their money to work, or whatever it may be. Now it's an amazing opportunity for both of y'all to win. All right. So where was I going? That's one on the funding side of things. For me specifically, too, if when I started doing large fix and flips, where I'm talking about we're knocking out walls, where we're rearranging the floor plan, things of that nature. Well, y'all, I didn't have experience at that at one point. So you know what I did? I went and got a partner. I went and leveraged a partner that had experience doing those size remodels. Okay. Because I needed to leverage their experience. One of the biggest mistakes that new investors make, especially when we get into the fix and flips, is they take on these massive projects and you don't have experience doing that. Okay. So not only are you leveraging just the other person's money, sometimes, like right here, it says you want to leverage each other's skills and strengths. Okay. Um, that's a powerful thing when it comes to partnerships. So let's see what we got here. There's typically four key players when it comes to joint venture agreements. Okay. And you may fall in one of these. Now, of course, there are some specialty kind of categories or buckets, but generically speaking, these are these four. Number one, you have a deal finder, somebody that is an acquisition specialist, okay? Meaning they're going to go out there, they're going to get the deal, they're going to get it under contract, all of those things. This is one of the most crucial roles, I would say, because if you don't get the deal, then nobody gets paid, right? I think they're all crucial, actually. Now that I'm saying that, it's a puzzle piece, and you need all four of the puzzle to come together for it to make sense, if that makes sense. All right. So we have somebody that does acquisitions. Number two, we have a capital partner, a private money lender, hard money lender, something like that, right? Somebody that's going to bring that money to the closing table. No matter if it's a wholesale, no matter if it's a fix and flip, no matter if it's a burr, at the end of the day, you still need somebody to bring some money to the closing table, okay? To get that deal done. Three is a disposition partner. So this is very specific for when it comes to wholesaling. Okay. So let's say, for example, you get a property under contract as an investor or, as a wholesaler, and then you can't find an end buyer. Has anybody fell into that category where you have a property under contract, but you don't know what to do with it, or you're not able to find an investor? So now you can go and find somebody and say, hey, I got this property, but I can't find an end buyer. Can you help me find an end buyer? You have the deal. They bring the end buyer to the closing table, and then y'all just split the profit. You with me on that? This is an amazing, amazing opportunity for somebody that says, I want to get started in real estate investing, but I don't have the money for marketing. I don't know how to talk to sellers. Like there's so many ways that you can get started without any of your own capital. And being a dispositions partner is one of them. In fact, let me tell you how powerful this is. This can be its own business model in itself. You have several large companies that all they do is co-wholesale properties. All they do is dispo properties for other wholesalers. So you're still solving problems, right? Because if I have a deal and I go to Miss Shawn and I can't find a buyer, and Miss Shawn finds a buyer, well, guess what? She just saved that entire deal. She just kept this deal in place. And so having somebody that's able to do this is incredible. And you can also use agents for this as well. And then the fourth thing is, or one of the four buckets, I guess you could say, is a operator, a project manager, somebody that's going to manage and oversee these things. All right. one huge thing that I do is I typically always have somebody manage projects for me. Um, yeah, I'm not trying to be out there overseeing contracts. I'm not trying to be doing all the going to Home Depot and pick out tile. And another thing too is I'm not even good at that stuff. I'm country, y'all. Okay. I can't walk into a room and say, all right, we need to put this paint here, we need to put that tile there, that backsplash, whatever it may be. I'm typically not that guy. Another example of this would be Excel spreadsheets. Okay. I am not somebody, me and Excel does not get along. All right. So I used to have a partner, especially when we were pulling so much bulk data, when we were pulling 30, 40, 50,000 leads a month, right? I had to have somebody come in and filter all that data and sort that data just because the time that it would take me to go through all of that in Excel, I just was not efficient at it. So I brought in somebody that could do those things. Again, think so outside of the box, okay, when it comes to this stuff. All right. Now, actually, I'm going to share some stuff here that's a little bit off script that might be helpful as well. And I want to share, I wish I had a whiteboard so you could see this. When I got started, and I had joined my very first mentorship and I was a part of my very first community. There was one thing that I noticed, and I had to pay attention to the things that are going on, right? I had to make sure that I added value to any partnership, number one. Secondly, we would be at these meetups or at these events, and I noticed that so many people within the community did not have time to actually do marketing, talking to sellers. Okay. And so what I would do is I would say, hey, Sean, hey, Eli, hey, Samantha, would you be open to setting up the marketing and paying for the campaigns? And I will run all of the leads and close all the deals. Right? So now what I did was I had, let's just say, Samantha, for example, over here running marketing and paying for the campaigns. All of those leads were being funneled to me. And then I was closing those deals and we were splitting the profits on those wholesales. So that was one person. And let's say, for example, I had one person that was spending maybe $2,000 or $3,000 a month in marketing, right? At one point, I had 7 different partnerships going at one time. So imagine 7 people who have set up marketing, and all 7 of these people are spending $3,000 a month in marketing, and they're all sending me leads to close. Are y'all with me on that? Did I lose somebody? I literally went from 0 to 100 very quick. I went from not spending any money in marketing to spending over 20 something $1,000 a month in marketing. Okay. I'm just sharing this as an example to show you how creative you can get. And that is actually what prompted me to start doing virtual wholesaling, because at one point I had so many leads coming in, I couldn't run them all. I had to start closing them over the phone virtually just for the sake of time. Now, I'm not saying that everybody has to go and structure things that way or do things that way. I'm just trying to plant a seed to show you what is possible if you start thinking outside of the box on your joint ventures, okay? But here's the important thing here. I didn't go and tell somebody that I could close their deals and I couldn't close deals. Okay. I had closed deals before that. I had experience closing deals. Okay. I was very comfortable at that point talking to sellers. You do not want to go and tell somebody you can do something and you can't do it. You also don't want nobody to lose money working with you. Like, this is your name on the line. My name is very important to me, right? I didn't want anybody to say, "Hey, they worked with Clifford and they lost their tail." That is not what I wanted somebody to say about me. So I took extreme pride in making sure that I was able to live up to the things that I said that I could do, right? And again, this is just one example, right? Maybe you're the person on the other end that says, "You know what? I don't have time to be talking to sellers. I don't have time to be running leads. But you know what? I can set up some marketing. Let me go find an acquisitions person. Let me go find the person that is really, really good at closing deals. So this way I can structure something for them. And that way we can both win. I can get deals closed. I can start making a return. They can close deals, etc." Are y'all with me on that? I see some wows. I see some yeses. But it's insane what we can do, y'all, when it comes to strategic partners. I would say I would not be where I am had I not found a way to get this creative with my partnerships. Okay. And too many people are trying to do things themselves. Now, of course, doing joint ventures, there are some things that I've kind of learned along the way is how to structure JV deals. Number one, we need to clarify roles and responsibilities 100%. 120%. We need to clarify roles and responsibilities. Okay. If somebody is setting up the marketing, then they are responsible for setting up the marketing and making sure that those leads get flowed to me. Okay. I'm not going in there changing the marketing, updating marketing. I'm not doing anything but closing the deals 100%. Right. If you're doing a fix and flip, if your role is to manage the contractors, rehab the house, that is your responsibility. When I pass that baton to a partner and that's their job, I am not going to Home Depot and sending them pictures saying, "Hey, I think this backsplash is cute. What do you think about this?" That is not my role. Okay. You need to stay in your lane. Okay. Once you have defined those roles, do not be swaying back and forth. Okay. Uh, and I don't think anybody wants that. When they're your partner, trust them to do what they said they were going to do, period. If you can't trust them to do what they say they're going to do, then they probably shouldn't be a partner of yours. Just that simple. Uh, Outline profits, splits. How much are y'all going to make? 50-50, 60-40, 70-30. There is no right or wrong. Okay. Somebody put in the comments, no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong when it comes to profit splitting. It's basically what y'all agree to. It's what makes sense for everybody. Okay. So this way everybody feels like they're getting the best out of the deal. Right. Sometimes, just depending on the deal, if I'm paying for marketing and closing the leads, I'm doing technically the hard part. In my opinion, I'm paying for the marketing, I'm closing the leads, I followed up with them, etc. All right. If for whatever reason I'm not able to find an end buyer and somebody has an end buyer, well, I'm probably not going to split my assignment fee with them 50-50. I might say, "Hey, you can go and you can add your fee on top of that." I'm actually doing that with somebody right now in Atlanta because Atlanta is a very new market for me. Uh, I'm only on my third deal in Atlanta. I just started Atlanta. So I'm still building out my buyers list and building my network there. So I talked to an investor. They have a buyer for it. "Hey, here's the deal. This is how much I need. Add your fee on top of it." I'm not even doing an equity split. I'm not even doing 50-50. Here's my set fee. I don't care if you make $5,000. I don't care if they make $50,000. Well, I'm gonna be sad, not sad, but that's gonna show me I left a lot of meat on the bone if they go and make $50,000. But anywho, but you get the point that I'm trying to say, right? There is no right or wrong when it comes to that. Have a legal agreement in place. You can draft up a simple joint venture agreement. Shout out to ChatGPT and all of those AI platforms. You could literally type something out and put in all of the roles. You can go to ChatGPT and say, hey, me and Tom LLC or gonna do a JV partnership on 123 Main Street. I'm gonna provide the funding and the deal. He's gonna manage and oversee the property to make sure it comes 100% done. Can you draft up a joint venture agreement? And ChatGPT will definitely do that for you. Super simple. If you're doing something a little more, maybe you're putting a lot of money involved, like you're an equity partner and you're bringing capital, you can definitely have and should have the title attorney actually draft those documents so you have the correct promissory note and things of that nature in place when it comes to closing. Okay. Now, not only along with getting your roles and responsibilities, we actually have to decide an exit strategy. Okay. So, what I mean by this is when I was setting up those different forms of marketing and I had those 7 people reaching out to me or setting up the marketing and sending me leads, we determined the exit strategy. Hey, all of these leads that come in, we're going to wholesale only, right? Or there was even one partnership where somebody was looking to buy rentals. So we made an agreement up front. Hey, anything that you want to keep as a rental, you'll pay a flat fee. So maybe that assignment fee is $5,000 or $10,000. So this way, they're able to pick up a rental. I still get my assignment fee, and it works out perfectly. Okay, and so we do need to determine the exit strategy, because if you're wanting to fix and flip because you've been binge watching Chip and Joanne all day, right? But they're just needing a quick check for financial reasons, it could be kind of tight there, right? Or it could be some major discrepancy. So you want to make sure that y'all are doing that. Are y'all still with me? Is this good? Is this showing you kind of what's possible when it comes to joint ventures? The legal side of things, it's important to contract all of your stuff. So again, make sure you get the proper agreements. Put any roles, responsibilities, profit splits. All of these are things that you want to put inside of your joint venture agreement. Okay, all these things you want to put inside of there. Again, make sure that you find the right JV partner. You want to be a part of communities. You want to be networking at real estate events. You of course have social media online forums. Like I even saw somebody put in the comment, hey, I want a partner. I need a partner. You know what I would be doing? I would be sending that person a message saying, hey, let's partner. Let's hop off of when this training's done, let's hop on a quick call and see how I can be of value to you and see how I can work with you. If there's anything that you need, right? You use it, okay, and leverage it. I would definitely not just be sending messages. I want to get on a phone call and talk to you, see what you're up to, see how things are going, and build an actual relationship. Okay. Especially if there's money involved, right? Now, if you're wholesaling and they're just saying that they can find you an end buyer, perfect, right? We can build a relationship, but we don't need to know an in-depth relationship. I don't need to know your blood type, right? Because there's nothing at risk here for either one of y'all, right? But if you're doing a flip and then you're wanting that person to put, $200,000 up, well, you should probably build a relationship with that person before you go and just wire them 200,000. Well, you should never wire anybody $200,000. All right, full disclaimer, okay? Do not go wire anybody $200,000. But you get the point that what I'm saying, right? Build trust with these relationships. Excuse me, y'all, I'm losing my voice. Build trust with these relationships because I use till this day a lot of the same partners, right? We've been doing this 6 years now. When I have a flip opportunity, I know who to go to. When I need private money lending, I know who to go to. When I need an attorney, I know who to go to. I build long lasting relationships. I think that if you want longevity in this industry, you want to make sure that you are building quality relationships. Okay. So, definitely, again, JVs have completely transformed my business, my life in so many ways. Do not, thank you, Miss O said, do not wire anybody $200,000. Exactly. Right. But I hope this was helpful. And I'm starting to lose my voice now. So definitely, I hope this was helpful. Start thinking about what you need in this business and how you can add value to somebody else. Because if you're comfortable talking to sellers, there's somebody probably on this training that's not comfortable with talking to sellers and that will partner with you, right? If you're needing funding, you can find an equity partner, you can find a private money lender, whatever you need. If you want to start flipping, but you have no idea how to flip, go find somebody that has experience flipping and leverage their experience, right? If you're not a computer person and you don't know how to set up half of these systems and processes, okay, uh, find somebody to partner with to do it, right? Think widely outside of the box. There is absolutely no reason why you cannot and should not be hitting your real estate investing goals, okay? Because your success is somebody else's miracle. But I need you to make sure that you are hitting your goals and hitting your targets, all right? But I pray this was helpful for everybody. Also, there's going to be a link below for my next upcoming masterclass. If you haven't attended, it's a live 3-day event where I'm going to go over wholesaling, fix and flips, how to get started. We're going to break down some numbers on my actual deals, all of that good stuff. Okay. The link will be in the description. If you also want more of these, let me know in the comments below. And I have absolutely no problem hopping on here and trying to add value. All right. But have a beautifully